Now next to the oil rig, measuring to Apollo 12, then 15. Total area of 6,250,787 square miles. The number 625 is Apollos. Apollos. Never ceases to amaze me. Every day around here he comes up with miracles all over the place, but they never cease to amaze me. They're just all so amazing. The total of those latitudes as a number is 6842, found in Daniel 8:21, quoting, "And the rough goat is the head of Gresha, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king." Hebrew Dictionary 6842 from 6852, a male goat, he-goat. 684 from a presumed derivative of 622, ruin or loss, that is physical, spiritual or eternal. Damnable nation, destruction, die, perdition, perish, pernicious ways, waste. This is describing the future, or rather no future, of Lucifer and its fallen angels. Isaiah 63:1, quoting, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, travelling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." Bozrah from the Hebrew Dictionary is the number 1224. Bozrah. And there's a screen print of the time on Tuesday the 13th of July 2004, when Yahweh modified the bitmap that we were just looking at of the moonscape. There it is, 12:24:01 p.m. Bozrah. The dreaded Vedas had arrived in Babylon. The priesthood had yet to be invaded intellectually by the coming of Daniel and Ezekiel, young men of only 17 years of age, to be captured by Babylon when it took Jerusalem in 586 BC. Nebuchadnezzar had placed Zedekiah in power 11 years before, but he rebelled, ignoring the man of God, the prophet Jeremiah, who was his grandfather. Then he had Jeremiah thrown in the dungeons to rot. Nebuchadnezzar took vengeance on Zedekiah. He killed the king's 4 sons and then blinded him. Zedekiah finally died in a Babylonian cell. Now, being Chaldean, Nebuchadnezzar had no idea the royal line of Judah would continue through the daughters of Zedekiah. 3 years passed. All was quiet and peaceful. Then Jeremiah packed up the temple implements, then with an entourage of men and women made their way to Egypt. From there they sailed to Tara Island, where the other split of Judah had already established the kingdom. These girls would marry into the Irish line of kings, the older name Scotia, which would later become the name of Scotialand, Scotland, 1200 years later. 91. Adekio from 94, to be unjust, that is actively do wrong morally, socially or physically, to hurt, injure, be an offender, be unjust, do, suffer, take, wrong. In Hebrew, 91 is flame from 90. The obsession with Egypt is because of the altar to the Lord, the Great Pyramid. The world leaders all believe they are descended from the Egyptian pharaohs. In fact, all US presidents can be connected genetically to England, and in every election, the man with the most royal connection becomes president. Plutonium is the most toxic, deadly material on Earth. It was used in Iraq against civilians by firing plutonium-tipped bullets into the cities and farms, and we see today the misery of deformed babies, polluted farm products, the damage incalculable. Recently, a space launch carried a satellite with 70 pounds of plutonium. Scientists around the world objected because if the space launch failed, the plutonium would burn up in the atmosphere, killing all life on the Earth.
2009. One day I got a letter in the mail. It was from a natural gas company. The letter told me that my land was on top of a formation called the Marcellus Shale, which stretched across Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, and West Virginia, and that the Marcellus Shale was the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. I could lease my land to this company, and I would receive a signing bonus of $4,750 an acre.
Scattered across the world's oceans are a handful of rare geological time bombs. Once unleashed, they create an extraordinary phenomenon, a gigantic tidal wave, far bigger than any normal tsunami, able to cross oceans and ravage countries on the other side of the world. Only recently have scientists realized the next episode is likely to begin at the Canary Islands off North Africa, where a wall of water will one day be created which will race across the entire Atlantic Ocean at the speed of a jetliner to devastate the east coast of the United States. America will have been struck by a mega tsunami. Reading from Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. The moon has just passed through Libra, the scales of justice, on May 18th, 2011, Yahweh's grandmother's birth date, and she, the mother of twins, born on her birth date, one born 20 minutes before midnight and the other 20 minutes after midnight. Yahweh's mother, Daphne Golightly, was born on October the 11th, 1912, in Libra. The scales of justice are pouring out on this date, as the moon, representing the foot of Ophiuchus, crushed the serpent, and the scorpion its tail stinging the Lord's heel. Yahweh's first wife was born November the 8th in 1942, and his second wife on October 25th, 1946. They are 3.961 years apart, both of them Scorpio. In the Greek dictionary, 3961 is to trample, tread down underfoot.
This is Revelation 18:18. That is one of the measurements of the Great Pyramid. This is Revelation 21:23. This is the moon, 2 talent.
All now that needs to be done is to pray in the name of Yahweh, Lord Jesus Christ, Brian, Leonard, Golightly, Marshall.